Okay, so hello everyone. Good morning.
Morning,
Morning,
ma'am.
Okay, everybody stand up. Miss Ladra, lead the prayer.
In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Father,
Father,
the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay, everybody sit
Get up.
down.
That's me having you.
Okay, how was your weekend? Mr. Sumo, how was your weekend?
It's definitely fine now. Thank you so much.
How about you, Miss Bacaro? How was your weekend?
Pretty fine. Thank you for asking, ma'am.
Okay, before we proceed to our topic, I will be checking your attendance. Okay, so Miss Ladra,
Present.
Mr. Lugto,
Present, ma'am.
Miss Bacaro,
Present, ma'am.
Miss Sumo.
Present now.
Okay, so some are absent, some are present. Okay, before we proceed to our discussion, I will be showing you a short clip video.
Okay, let's do this. Today I'm going to teach you what consumer behavior is. First of all, it is defined as the area of research within the field of marketing that focuses on how consumers acquire, use and dispose of goods, services, time and ideas. Consumers can be individuals, families or other groups such as teams and companies. Let's try to understand the importance of studying consumer behavior. Suppose you need a new phone. How would you go about satisfying this need? Where would you turn to for information? How would you set your budget? Where would you buy the phone? These are just some decisions consumers face on a regular basis. Interestingly, each consumer will answer these questions differently based on their backgrounds and some psychological factors. For a company that makes phones, the answers to these questions will help them know the types of phones to design, the price consumers are willing to pay, and where they should sell their phones. It is very important to understand how consumers make decisions, because the best way to create and keep customers is to understand what motivates their consumption decisions and anticipate their consumption needs. Only this way, companies can design products, services and offers that will make their customers happy.
Okay, that's it for our short clip video. So before we proceed, do you have any idea or what do you think about the video? What comes in your mind about our topic for today? Miss Ladra,
About marketing.
any other answer? Mr. Lugto?
About budgeting.
There's a point. Any other answer, Miss Bacaro?
It's all about the consumer behavior.
Yes, consumer behavior. So our topic for today will be about the consumer behavior. Before we proceed, consumer behavior, as a short review, consumer behavior it is about how consumer behave and how they are going to react in a certain society of how they deal with their needs and wants. So we will be tackling about that later. And before we proceed, I will be one of you had idea about what consumer behavior is.
Consumer behavior is a study of a people on a certain product or services they want, needs. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bacaro. Good point. Okay, so understanding consumer behavior on basis for marketing strategy and their marketing analysis. So we will be discussing about the analysis of consumer behavior. Okay, anyone please read Mr. Logto.
The consumers, knowing customer needs and wants TQM and through direct marketing research.
Very good. So, TQM. Anyone here has idea on what is TQM? Miss Ladra.
Total quality management.
Okay, total quality management. This is where consumers react and where the certain company do research about how the consumer behaves outside the society, what they want and what they need. But they are also consumers also based on the service and the label, brand, eligibility of a certain company. So next, here, we have here. Okay, Mr. Sumo, please read.
The company, understanding its own ability to meet customer needs, evaluating all aspects of the firm, including financial condition and technological capacities.
Yes, as I said, consumers react on the eligibility, the popularity of a certain brand. So example, the iPhone. iPhone is a very latest and very known mobile phone nowadays, but they're on iOS. But when it comes to Android, there are lots who are competing nowadays. So anyone here have idea on what kind of Android who are most popular nowadays? Mr. Lotto, any idea of
Realme, ma'am.
Realme? There's a point, I've heard lots of reactions and comments about Realme. Miss Bacaro?
Oppo?
Mr. Sumo?
Samsung na.
Yes, Miss Ladra, any idea?
Huawei.
Huawei. So, if we're going to compare those companies, consumer are going to choose a certain company who are having a very good specs, having the good content and features when it comes to phones. So before we talk about those companies, let's proceed first to the competitors. Ms. Ladra, read.
Understanding the competitors as capabilities and strategies.
Yes, so as we talked lately about the phones and those brand companies, they are both competitors. But and then do you have any idea which phone don't have Google Chrome? Anyone here?
Huawei?
Yes, Miss Bacaro. Why? Because the Google Chrome has issue with regards to Apple when they updated the Chrome, and then I haven't heard that much about why Huawei don't have Google, but one thing for sure, their competitors or their partnership did not work, or they didn't reach the certain deals when it comes to the features of upgrading the phones. So next, Ms. Bacaro, read.
The conditions, state of the economy, physical environment, government, and regulations.
Yeah, so consumer, they will be sensitive when it comes to the economy, the physical environment, and the government regulations, because there are some products who might regulate the government policies. Anyone can give me a item, product, types of food, or whatever service like that seems to be that won't click in a certain place because of its government regulation. Anyone?
Won't click, ma'am.
Yeah, so that it won't fit because of the government, or let's just say let's put it that way, it's not allowed in their place or something like that.
I know.
Yes.
When we talk about the place, ma'am, example in Marawi,
Yes.
most of the people there are Muslims, so there's no in terms of food, there's no pork there because it's out of their culture.
Yes. That's why when a certain person is going to put up a business, you have to be very specific. There's this thing we call agglomeration or agglomerated. You have to sell product that is agglomerated in a certain area. For example, in Marawi, let's talk about all the people in Marawi are Muslims, and then you put up a business which is piggery. Do you think it will click? No, it won't, because you are not agglomerated with a certain area. So for example, in a certain place like in Cagayan, have you noticed from which part of that in Cagayan that they are all selling cars along the highway? They are all selling cars, and then you happen to put up a business, and then you will put a food service or a fast food in that certain area. Do you think it will click?
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe yes.
Maybe yes, maybe no. Why? Because people are there to buy cars, not to buy foods. People will buy foods where there are lots of choices for foods. Okay, let's proceed. Understanding the consumer behavior as basis for marketing strategy and target market selection. So we have here, before we proceed, I want you to write here your idea about what consumer is or what does consumer has to do. Okay, I want you to write 2 words. Each of you have to write 2 words per strand for this graph. Okay, you can start. Okay, Ms. Bacaro, you will go first. Okay, ma'am. Okay, it's fine. Okay, Miss Ladra, I want you to write 2 words, another 2 words. So we have here beliefs and choices. Good point. So that you won't be in hassle of standing. Miss Ladra, is it fine if you will write your opinions? Okay.
ma'am.
So Mr. Sumo, give me 2 words. Another 2 words with connect.
Communication na.
Very good communication. Yes.
And info search.
What?
Info search.
search. Next.
Reference ma.
Reference.
Ang cognition.
Ulit?
Preference.
Isa lang.
So I want you to listen to our topic because we will be having
Recognition.
a short quiz after this.
Preference po.
It's not reference, ma'am, pre.
Okay. Okay. So we have here, when we hear the word consumer, what comes in your mind is the beliefs, which is correct. Because we have different beliefs on how we or how as consumer, how we set our needs, wants, or how we buy things. We also have our choice because it is us consumer who have choices. So, cognition. Anyone have an idea about what cognition is, Miss Ladra? Cognition, like,
I have no idea, ma'am.
yeah, the effects. We have the effects. So, the consumer have the big effects for a company service because if the consumer consume big amount or the society had this okay, I will give you an example about the effect. For example, effect, because just like nowadays, kids are into K-pop, right? So the market segment of the K-pop industry are based on albums, merch. They have these things called merch. So how they're going to attract their customers or the consumers are through their merch. And by buying their merch, it affects a big economic growth in their company. A big how do you call that? They had big sales because aside from Philippines purchasing merch from Korea, it has tax depending on how many albums you're going to purchase. So the effects of it is that it will help the economy or it will help a certain company that where in a certain area there is a big impact or effect of the product. So we also have preference. Before we buy something, we have reference, right? So we have preference on what we want to buy, what brand we will choose. Also, info search. We will search about first if we need cell phone. We will search about first and the storage, the features, the
How many stars?
specs. Yes, rate. The rate about the cell phone, and then we also have the communication. we took like, we will ask our friends, someone we know about the product. Okay, so that's it for the consumer. So we will proceed now to the understanding consumer behavior as basis. So we have here the 4 steps of the marketing segmentation in selecting that differ from a large market. So Mr. Sumo, please read the first.
Identify product-related need sets. A product can satisfy more than I need, like purchase, more than one needs rather, like purchasing an automobile, a need of transportation and status.
So what do you think does it mean, Mr. Sumo?
So when you are going to purchase a specific product, you have first to identify if that product is your needs or wants. But based on that, it's an automobile, so it depends on me if that is my needs or my wants.
Yes.
Based on to my status, to my income status also.
Yes, very good. You have a point there because it depends on how the consumer reacts on how they're going to buy. Like, you're going to buy a car. Do you think you need it? Do you think you want, or you just want it? Because nowadays, if you're going to be practical, I can't go on traffic if I'm using car. But if it rains, car is an advantage. But if it's a sunny day, car is at disadvantage, especially at traffic. But car seems to have lots of advantage rather. So next we have the groupings. Miss Bacaro, please read.
Grouping of customers having similar need sets. An example is the need for young single individual for moderately priced, fun, and sporty transportation.
Yes. So grouping of customer having similar needs. So okay, as I said lately, teens are into K-pop nowadays. Some teens who are boys are into Mobile Legends. So their boys are into buying phones that had big storage, the capacity. Mr. Luto, do you play games?
Yes, ma'am.
Upon choosing a phone, what do you prefer?
Big storage, RAM.
Yes, the storage and the RAM for phones. Miss Ladra, read.
Describe each group. Describing group in terms of demographics, lifestyles, and major usage.
So, what do you have any idea, Miss Ladra?
No.
Okay, so if you describe each group, describing in terms of demographics, lifestyles, and media usage, it is where, as consumer, we prefer to search first about the item. Next, does it fit our lifestyle? It is just wants, or it is just a need. Also, please read.
Selecting an attractive segment to serve. The decision is based on the ability to provide segment with superior customer value at a profit.
Yes, so let us just say that I am the company owner. So my priority is that I have to provide a product. So as a whole summary for our lesson for today, we talk about the consumer's behavior in the society, in the economy. So, any question, clarification, or okay, that's it for our lesson for today. So, as I said lately, I will be giving you an activity. So, Miss Ladra, please pass the paper, take 2, and then answer. I will be giving you 20 minutes to answer, and then pass it. Also, I will be giving you an assignment. I will be giving you your assignment through your Google Classroom. Okay, pass your papers. Don't forget your assignment. You have to pass it tomorrow before 5 p.m. Okay, thank you everyone. I hope you learned something for today.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, everyone, stand up. Miss Ladra, lead the prayer.
Thank you, Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
And to us in the beginning, is now, and will be forever. Amen.
The Father, the Son, and the
Holy
Holy Spirit.
Spirit. Amen.
Thank you,
Thank
Ma'am.
you,
And
ma'am.
thank you, everyone.